Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Hoy vamos a tocar el tema de los adjetivos. Alright, so we're looking at adjectives today, and you've already learned a lot of them when we were talking about how to describe people in the past. Now in this unit, we're looking more at food, so we're going to learn some new adjectives, but we're also going to learn how to change adjectives a bit more. Let's look back at a couple adjectives that we had in the past. For instance, atrevido. Atrevido means daring. All right, so if we wanted to say a daring boy, we would say un chico atrevido. Remember that adjectives in Spanish usually come after the word or the noun, the thing, or the person that it's describing. All right, so if we got un chico atrevido, but what about a chica? Do you remember that when the adjective is describing something feminine, it goes to a feminine form, if there is one. So atrevido, if we're talking about una chica, is going to be una chica atrevida. So we see that atrevido or atrevida is a masculine form of the adjective and a feminine form. Others, such as bueno, if we're talking about a good boy, un chico bueno, una chica buena. Un chico gracioso, do you remember what gracioso means? Funny. Una chica graciosa. If we look back at some of our adjectives, though, some of them have particular ways that they change into the feminine form. For instance, trabajador. Trabajador is hardworking. If we say a boy is hardworking, un chico trabajador. But if you remember with adjectives that end with DOR, the feminine form is going to be adding an A. So, whereas the un chico trabajador, una chica trabajadora. So if it ends with the DOR, you're going to add an A to make the feminine form of the adjective. Now other adjectives use the same form in both the masculine and the feminine form. Inteligente, interesante, deportista, which was strange because it has an A, but we use deportista to talk about a boy or a girl. So if I want to say an interesting boy, un chico interesante, or una chica interesante, I'm going to use the same adjective for both the boys and the girls. Deportista, a sports-minded boy, un chico deportista, una chica deportista. So with some adjectives, they don't have a different feminine form. So we've looked at the fact that in Spanish, adjectives most of the time have a masculine and feminine form, except for the few cases we just mentioned. But another thing that we're going to learn in this unit is that our adjectives also have to agree in number. For us to start looking at that, let's look at a couple of words, vocabulary of food that we're learning. La lechuga. Lechuga, lettuce. And let's look at el pollo. Pollo is chicken. By the way, el pollo, talking about chicken, is the chicken that you eat. It's not a chicken running around. If you want to talk about a chicken as an animal, you would call it la gallina or el gallo. That may sound weird, but we do the same thing when we talk about ham or bacon. El jamón? What is that? Ham. But we don't see a ham running around, do we? What's the animal? The animal is a pig, un cerdo, which is a word you haven't learned yet. But in general, when we talk about the animal, we call it a pig. When we talk about the meat from the pig, we call it pork, right? All right, it works that way with pollo and chicken. El pollo is the meat, the chicken meat. Same thing with actually it's the same thing with pescado, which is the fish that you eat. We don't use pescado to talk about the animal. That's pez, P-E-Z. So, looking at la lechuga and el pollo. So we take two words, two foods in Spanish. La lechuga is feminine, el pollo is masculine. Now let's look at a couple of the adjectives that we're learning this unit to talk about food. We have sabroso, which means flavorful or tasty. In English we usually say the chicken tastes good. But in Spanish we're going to use it as an adjective. The chicken is tasty. For tasty or flavorful, the word is sabroso. For bad is malo. So malo is the opposite of bueno. And we also have the word horrible that we're learning. Horrible may sound very different, but it's spelled the same if you see it spelled horrible. What does it mean? Horrible. But remember, in Spanish, we don't say the H and we roll the R. So it's horrible. All right, so if we want to say the lettuce is bad, la lechuga es, okay, la lechuga is feminine. So is it going to be malo? No, it's going to be feminine. La lechuga es mala. If we're talking about the chicken is tasty. El pollo es sabroso. But if we want to say the lettuce is tasty, la lechuga es sabrosa. Which doesn't make a lot of sense since lettuce doesn't have much taste, but maybe you really like lettuce, and this particular lettuce is very tasteful. All right, so that's pretty clear. That's something that we've learned before. Now looking at it, singular and plural. Adjectives have to be made plural if what they're describing is plural. And you follow the same rules for making adjectives plural that you do for nouns. If it ends with a consonant, you add es. If it ends with a vowel, you add an s. So let's take two other foods. Los guisantes, peas. We already have a pretty good idea what adjective we're going to use to talk about peas, but los guisantes, plural and masculine. And let's take las papas. Las papas, potatoes. So how would we say let's say the peas are tasteful? How would we say the peas taste good, or the tasteful or flavorful peas? Los guisantes, and your adjective is sabroso, but you have to make it plural. So it's going to be los guisantes sabrosos. Whereas we said el pollo sabroso, now it's los guisantes sabrosos. And when we talked about lettuce, la lechuga sabrosa. And let's talk about the flavorful potatoes, las papas sabrosas. So you see we have plural forms in the masculine and feminine as well. And actually, you've already been using this without even realizing it. How do you say French fries? Las papas fritas. Now, we say French fries in Spanish and English, but in Spanish, we're not actually saying French fries. We're saying fried potatoes. Yeah. So fritas is the word for fried. Fritas. Las papas, plural, feminine, fritas. It's an adjective that means fried, and it's plural and feminine. So, thinking about that word, let's say fried chicken, el pollo. Now, fritas is feminine and plural. How to make it masculine and singular? Well, to make it singular, we take off the S. And to make it masculine, we change the O to an A, in this case. So, to say fried chicken, we would say el pollo frito. All right? Let's look at the table here just to review what we've learned today. So with the adjective sabroso, which means tasty or flavorful, you have four forms. Sabroso, sabrosa, sabrosos, and sabrosas. Which one of these forms you use depends on what is being described. If it's singular and masculine, el pollo, it would be sabroso. If it's singular and feminine, la carne, it would be la carne sabrosa. If it's plural and masculine, los guisantes, it would be los guisantes sabrosos. And if it's plural feminine, such as las fresas sabrosas. Malo is another regular adjective that in the singular masculine forms it ends with O. So that means the four forms of it, malo, mala, malos, and malas. All of these mean bad, but you choose the form according to what it is describing. And lastly, let's look at horrible because it's a little different. Horrible does not have a feminine form, so you use the word horrible to talk about something singular, whether it's masculine or feminine. El helado horrible, la carne horrible. And that means you only have one form in the plural also, horribles and horribles. Once more, you choose which form of these to use according to what is being described. All right, guys, I hope you understand what I've explained with this. If you have questions, write me and let me know. This is the first time I've tried to do a video like this. It takes a lot of work. Hopefully, I have more than 3 people watching it. All right, take care. Adiós, cuídense. Nos vemos.